Hello again, guys. So I am back with another reaction. This time Warhammer 3 uploaded some actual gameplay footage. So now we're no longer speculating, now we can actually see if the game is trash. So, without further ado, let's look and see how Kislev performs against the Demons of Khorne. Oh yeah. Okay, there's that nice CA logo we love so much.
Hello everyone, I'm Gareth Edmondson, Studio Director at Creative Assembly. Thank you for joining us.
I don't really care.
In just a few minutes' time, the amazing teams working on Total War Warhammer 3 will share with you some exciting updates on the... We can't wait to show you more of Warhammer 3, so stick around as we're about to start. Enjoy the show.
Yeah, that's like 2 whole minutes of me not caring about what that guy has to say. Because, like, it's happened to so many video games where, like, the directors are like, oh, let me tell people about how much we care about our game and how much we care about all this footage that we doctored and want to show you. And then the game comes out absolutely trash. It's like, dude, we really do not care what you have to say. We just care about the merit of the game. Is it good? Show us. Wow. Oh, these are stats. Oh, wow. Yeah, Beastman. There's the Undead. Volkamar versus Helmengorst. Really? The favorite Warhammer race was Empire? Wow. I find that very surprising because I only played Grimgor. Oh yeah, there's the Norskin update. Alright, so now we're in the Warhammer 2 category. Let's see these stats. Are they going to show us any stats, or are they just going to show us footage of, like, trailers and stuff? There we go. Wow, nearly 3 million battles, damn. Oh yeah, Baby Tomb Kings. Holy shit, that's so much gold. Yep, the Vampire Coast. There's them rattling guns that I love so much. Oh yeah. Really? The favorite is High Elves and Tyrion? I sincerely doubt that. I actually think that's wrong. Because a lot of people play Skaven. A lot. Alright, here we are, Warhammer 3. This has been like 5 minutes of wasted time to get to the actual gameplay footage. Let's see it. Is the gameplay actually good? Judging by how they're dancing around the point, it might actually be bad. Let's see. Because in my last reaction video, I was talking about Kislev.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us for the first Total War Warhammer 3 showcase event. I'm your host, Frankie Ward, and I'm here to give you an exclusive first look at what Creative Assembly has in store for the cataclysmic conclusion to the Total War Warhammer series. Today, we'll be kicking things off with some brand new content before diving in.
Today, we're going to waste about 6 minutes of your time before we actually get to the gameplay content that we promised to reveal to you. Because for whatever reason, we thought it was important that I talk in my grandma's sweater.
Into an exclusive first look at a Total War Warhammer 3 trailer and gameplay.
This is taking too long.
We'll also be hearing from the developers working on the game to learn more about the chaos you can expect to experience. So, without further delay, let's get started with a glimpse into the vision for Warhammer 3 from game director Ian Roxburgh.
Total War Warhammer 3 is the grand conclusion to the Total War.
Oh my god, we're still talking.
The success of the first few games has actually enabled us to be far more ambitious and expand the scale of warfare like never before. When we first embarked on this epic journey way back in 2012, we just looked at this incredibly rich and diverse amount of content that the Warhammer Fantasy universe has in it, and really wanted to make a game that contained everything. but it was very apparent early on that there's no way we could put all that stuff in and do all of it enough justice, both in terms of a Total War game and in terms of the incredible IP, just in one game. So we decided we need to do a trilogy, 3 massive games in their own right, but then fans who have played all those games and enjoyed them will get the opportunity to play one giant game at the end that combines all the content from all these 3 games in this massive, massive world. It's the game we want to play as developers, and it's the game we knew our fans would ultimately want to play.
And as a gamer and as a developer, I'm sure you can understand that wasting 7 minutes of people's time just talking and statistics, and then you said this is gameplay footage, really does annoy us. Like, get to the point. This is
Warhammer
rough.
Fantasy Battle Universe is such an incredibly rich and diverse world full of incredible monsters and giants and characters and environments and storms of magic and you name it, it's in there, and it just provides such a brilliant tapestry to design a Total War game on. We can do things that we'd never ever be able to do in any other kind of environment, and it's been such a pleasure to work with this IP and to bring new experiences to our players that they would never have seen before in a Total War game.
By now, all my excitement has
So
drained
now that
out.
you know what the vision is, I think it's time to jump into our first exclusive segment. Here is the first in-engine cinematic trailer.
In case you have not been paying attention since 2012, in case you have not played Warhammer 2, in case you have not played Warhammer 1, in case you have never played a video game in your life, we just wasted good 8 minutes of your time. Mind you, if I had wasted 8 minutes of my time in any video, I would be fucking crucified. So, without further ado, let's finally get to what we're all here for.
Enjoy.
Hopefully, before another fucking director comes in. Oh boy, here we go. 8 minutes. That is bad. Here we go, more logos. Cool. We already saw this. Don't tell me it's just a trailer. Yeah, let's skip this. Fuck this. I am not rewatching this. Oh my god, no. She's gonna keep talking.
That had everything. Giant elemental bears, bloodthirsty demons, and
God.
one cold-blooded ice witch that you wouldn't want to mess with. And now, for the moment you've been patiently waiting for.
She said this 4 times already. Now that you've been waiting for, without further delay, adds more delay. When are we getting to the footage? How much gameplay is there actually? Is it only 5 minutes?
Swords and get ready to invade the realm of Khorne in the all-new survival battle mode. Let's jump into the action.
About damn time. Yes.
Here it is, the first look at Total War Warhammer 3 gameplay. Today we'll be testing our mettle in an epic new game mode, Survival Battle. Survival battles drop us into the heart of enemy territory. To prevail, we'll need to deploy our defenses by spending supplies on a variety of barricades, projectile towers, traps, reinforcements, and buffs. In this particular survival battle, we're taking the fight to Khorne, seizing 3 victory points as we progress through the ruined fort with the Brass Citadel and its gatekeeper as our goal. But our invasion into Khorne's domain will be hard fought. We'll be repelling 3 waves of lesser demons before going toe-to-toe with an exalted bloodthirster.
Well, they ain't gonna be that lesser when they kick your ass, that's for damn sure.
As the battle begins, we find ourselves immediately set upon. Some quick flanking and a blast of Katarin's ice magic sets us up for a swift initial win.
Wait, demons retreating? Please don't tell me that's
Now
a
that the
thing.
way ahead is clear, we can progress to capture the first victory point and start our defensive preparations. We'll
Are you
use our
shitting me?
structures, which have been built from salvage found in Khorne's realm, to our tactical advantage. They'll help us herd our foes into kill zones so we can take control of and maintain
Oh,
the
you could
battle's
build
flow.
barricades now while you're
We'll
playing.
place
Oh, that's
barricades
new.
on either side of the victory point and block off all easy routes up the main ramps.
Oh,
will
this
funnel
is
bulk
the
of
horde
demons
mode,
towards the
yeah.
side ramps, where our Tsar Guard will hold the line. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
our towers, Kossars, and Katarin will tear them apart.
So this is an actual, like... So this isn't actual, like, gameplay, per se. This is actually just, them showing the new game mode that they're putting in Warhammer 3. Okay, that makes more sense. Because I was gonna say, like... I don't think you're gonna be able to do this in the real game.
Here they come.
Okay. Yeah, those guys look a lot deadlier. I really hope they don't make it where demons actually have retreat options. Like, that's just stupid.
Catherine uses her Law of Ice to quickly slide between engagements. To help ease the load on our guard, we'll use her devastating Frost Fang ability and Heart of Winter spell.
Okay, so it's a controlling magic. She's slowing them down.
Against such insurmountable
Alrighty.
odds, our warriors are sure to tire and take losses. Thankfully, we can keep our army fighting fit with the...
Our forces are sure to take losses. She has not lost a single guy yet. They just fought, what, 8 Bloodthirsters? Like, factions, 8 Bloodthirster units, and now they're fighting Khorne Berserkers, and they have not taken a single loss. I highly doubt that.
Menu.
Okay, so this is again part of the Horde mode stuff.
Likewise, we can dramatically improve a unit's performance with the upgrades menu, where we'll buff weapons, armor, and other essential items.
Yeah, this is again all the Horde mode stuff that they're advertising.
Citadel. We'll need to call fresh troops into the slaughter with the recruitment menu.
Yeah, this is all Horde mode.
Our defense is holding thanks to our Streltsy reinforcements, but the demons keep coming. Our goal lies beyond the first victory point, and we need to press onwards. With the bulk of the enemy in one convenient narrow corridor, a decisive charge from our winged lancers should put a swift end to their assault.
Now, them running away makes sense, but the demons running away, that does not make sense.
We've survived the first wave and can press our invasion deeper into enemy territory.
Damn, what was that? Was that electricity or was that ice? That looked like electricity.
The defense of the second point begins shortly. We've only a brief respite before the demonic hordes come anew, and haven't much time to arrange our units and structures. As we progress, we'll expand
there
our
we
available
go.
troops, summoning higher tier units to meet the challenge of an ever-growing threat.
Yep, that's what I was expecting. The artillery, yep. Kislev does have artillery. And they do have war wagons as well in their army codex, so I'm expecting that one unit, the war wagon, to also be in their army roster. Unless they're just going to make it an Empire thing. But I'm glad they finally showed the artillery, the archers. Because again, Kislev is a skirmishing faction. You don't want to fight these guys toe-to-toe most of the time. If you can kill them at a distance, do so. But I do like that, though. They are expanding some new ideas. They're actually turning this game into more of a real-time strategy, like Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth 2, or Halo Wars, or even StarCraft-ish, if you want to go that far. So it seems like they're adding more to it by adding like capabilities for you to recruit units in the middle of the battle. But again, this is only the Horde mode. That's what the guy said. This is Horde mode. This isn't actually the campaign. So it may just be strictly the Horde mode that has this mechanic. But I do kind of hope for multiplayer purposes they do put that in where the map is like super large. Every player gets their own corner of the map, and you see as they like build up tiny little buildings, tiny stuff. So that way it becomes a different kind of Total War game. It'd be more like Age of Empires. It'd be more like Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth 2. It'd be more like Halo Wars. That's an interesting step in an interesting direction that could actually profit really well for them, because they have such great unit mechanics and such great army compositions. All you need now is to add buildings to the game that could recruit those units, and it would actually come out pretty interesting. It would come out really interesting at all.
With healing
multiplayer matches taking more than just 10 minutes.
To carry him between units in need, the Patriarch is a strong addition to our forces. Many a Chaos slave has fallen to Little Grom's ancient and roaring fusillades. Fighting alongside it stokes pride into the hearts of all Kislevites. And rightfully so. Right now, Little Grom, with help from the Ice Guard and other units, is making steady work of the demons assaulting our western wall.
Okay. So they changed the icon for the magic. They changed it from a giant circle to now a to now an hourglass. That's interesting.
But where our western defense is prevailing, our eastern flanks are in danger of being overrun. A second artillery unit should help even the odds.
Okay. Dude, you got like winged hussar
Although
doing fucking
advancing is our
nothing.
primary focus, we'll leave a rear guard to protect the bulk of our army. Losing a victory point and getting flanked now could spell disaster.
One final push to the boiling moat! We must seize the icon of torment and tempt Korn's gatekeeper from his lair!
The most unrealistic thing about this is that she hasn't
We make
taken
our
massive
final
losses.
push. Tired and bloodied from our march into chaos, we face two waves of demons, bolstered with heroes, cavalry, artillery, and the gatekeeper himself. Now is the time to rain the full force of Ursun's wrath down upon our foes, and do our best to survive. But to endure the coming storm, we'll need Kislev's fiercest defender.
Yep, the ice bear. Yep.
Despite Korn's overwhelming numbers, we're standing strong. Kislev's superior ranged capabilities mixed with the staunch bulwark of the Tsar Guard and the capacity to restore our troops from the replenishment menu and the Patriarch's abilities means we're deeply entrenched. With that in mind, we can stand to be a bit more aggressive. With so many demons packed together tightly, Katarin's Frostfang ability and her other offensive spells prove ruinous. And with Korn focused on piercing our Tsar wall, we can unleash our Warbear Riders and other cavalry to wreak havoc.
There we go. That's what I want. That is what I want for my Kislev, boy. I want to see huge amounts of cavalry. Not this little army here of infantry and archers. No, no, no. Real Kislev, I want to see tons of wings Horsairs. I want to see tons of Urson cavalry. That's what I want to see. I want to see these Chaos Boys get charged and then cycled away.
A continuous rain of fire from
Oh,
our
wow.
little Grom units, and we soon find ourselves prevailing against the third wave.
Prepare for the fight of your lives!
Here he is, the Gatekeeper, an exalted bloodthirster. This greater demon of Korn is war, brutality, and murder incarnate. No mortal man could hope to stand against one and survive. Thankfully, we have a giant ice bear. If we're not careful, Korn's Gatekeeper will systematically devastate and rout our infantry.
I know what he's saying. Oh, our infantry will get massacred by this guy. Oh, no. When the game comes out, you know what's going to happen when this big motherfucker comes into play? You know what's going to happen? Every archer, every javelin thrower, every dude who's got a gun is going to easily wipe that motherfucker off the play, like just off the face of the earth. So I kind of admire on how he's trying to build it up. Like, oh yeah, his greater demon will massacre your troops, which is true in the lore. That is exactly what will happen. But in a gameplay sense, this guy stands no chance. How many archers and artillery guys he's got, this guy's gonna die by the time he shows up.
Sowing discord and creating holes in our wall. We need to keep him focused on the elemental bear whilst peppering him with ranged attacks and spearing him with our anti-large infantry, like the Ice Guard. The quicker we tank the Gatekeeper down, the sooner we claim victory.
Yeah. Of course, conveniently, there's all of a sudden no more demon armies. Where the fuck did they go? I thought this was Horde mode.
Katarin's magic, the elemental bear's ferocity, and the continuous assault of our army is too much for even Korn's greatest of champions. We stand triumphant. But Korn is not the only dark god with a realm in this accursed place. The
Oh, are we
battle
gonna
is
see more?
won, but the war goes on.
I was kind of hoping we were going to
Thank
see
you
another
so much
demon.
for joining us. And I have to say that survival battle was wild. So how does it feel to finally reveal gameplay?
Well, thank you. Yeah, it
Hold on a second. Let's count how many minutes this was. Okay, so we're looking at around 9 minutes, 8 minutes of actual footage in a 30-minute video. The rest is everyone just talking about how they feel, how the development team is going, which again doesn't really matter because there's been many games like Cyberpunk where they're like, oh yeah, our company and our development team are super excited to release this game. We put so much passion into it. And then when the game comes out, it is absolutely terrible. Like, below dog shit terrible. So these two people here smiling away in their grandma sweatshirts, telling us about how much they love the game and how excited they are. I really don't care to hear it. In fact, the more they talk, the more worried I get. Because that means that there's probably not going to be much in the game. So, again, you could just say, oh, for your 700, you're just being a cunt, in which case you're probably right. But you have to understand my point of view, which is that I'm very, very skeptical. And for obvious reasons. Many, many games that I've seen throughout the years I've been excited for came out as total fucking failures. Came Under Fire 2, Duke Nukem Forever, Cyberpunk 2077. All these games had the same thing in common. Development team talking and talking and talking. Oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be huge, blah, blah, blah. And then they don't actually show us that much gameplay footage. We only saw 9 minutes of gameplay footage. And even then, it wasn't the full battle. So it shows you a few things. They probably haven't even worked out how the units die and stuff. Judging by how Kislev's army didn't take a single fucking casualty. Yeah. Either Kislev is stupidly busted, which isn't lore accurate. Or the other hand is that they just simply doctored the video and just kept changing the coding in the game to make it look cool, which is most likely what they did. So it makes me kind of worried. It makes me just a little bit worried. I'm going to see if I can skip around a bit.
Place with incredible environments, and it's really given us a chance to explore new features and gameplay and bring some...
He's saying the same shit. He was just saying at like the 5-minute mark. When he was talking about how, oh, Warhammer is just such an interesting introduction to our development team because it's such an expanded universe. There's so much for us to explore, so many monsters. Now he's going over it again, but this time he's talking about landscape. Okay, let's skip around a bit.
Ended off the trilogy in the best possible way and gone out with a big bang and made it the very best Total War. It's been incredible, and
We're in the old world. In Warhammer 2, we ventured to the new world within Lustria and Nagarond. In Warhammer 3, we'll be venturing to Kislev, to the very top and west underneath the Chaos Realms, who have been the bulwark of humanity, keeping the human civilization safe from the constant chaos incursion. But to the east, we have the mysterious, private, and very ancient
now we have another person wearing their grandma sweater. Good. Good.
Civilization.
Because that's what this video needed, was more people in their grandma sweatshirt. I need to get me a grandma sweatshirt while I'm watching this video. Fuck. Now I feel left
Beyond
out.
the mortal and humanoid realms, we can also travel to and play within the Chaos Realms themselves. 4 ruinous powers seek to rule over this place, ever seeking to slip their bonds. We have Nurgle, the Plague God, Slanesh, the Lord of Excess, Tzeentch, the Changer of Ways, and Khorne, the God of Blood, Slaughter, and Rage. The inclusions of areas like the Chaos Realms has given us the opportunity to showcase the most
That kind of makes me nervous too, because like invading chaos, invading the realm itself, that shouldn't be a possibility. Like, you can go in there for sure, probably with a small army, and then come out, but you will not survive. You will not win, because demons don't necessarily exist, and their followers, although you and I could enter chaos and die and lose our fucking soul, which is great. But if you and I were dedicated to that god, like Khorne, or dedicated to Slanesh, or dedicated to Tzeentch, whatever god, dying doesn't really mean death. All dying means is that your body is now lifeless. But at any point in time, because you're inside his realm, he could just bring you back to life. So I'm kind of skeptical of this. Like, how would this even be represented in the game? What, is there going to be a permanent chaos gate that just constantly has, like, timed events where it just randomly becomes a threat again and we have to keep sending dudes in it? Because that sounds fucking annoying. That sounds really fucking annoying. And if you actually can claim those portal gates, what happens? Do the gates just shut? Because if they just shut, that'd be nice. But what I would like to see is if the gate shuts, then you lose the army that was inside it. That would be really interesting. That would make the game more unique. Because then you wouldn't send your legendary lords in there unless you wanted to lose them permanently. Like, yes, the threat of chaos is forever over, but you lose the greatest thing you had. That would be interesting. That would be very, very interesting. But I don't know. They haven't shown us much. They only shown us 9 minutes of gameplay footage that was extremely doctored. Like, when they showed the footage in Warhammer 2 of the Lizardmen versus the High Elves, it was really awesome. Sure, it was one-sided, but that's how Lizardmen are. They're very one-sided individuals. If you try to steal their shit or try to touch their stuff, they will not come at you with a fair, honorable fight. That's not part of the equation. You're a thief in their eyes. Why would you give the thief honor when he's already dishonorable? No, you're gonna come in there with 50 fucking Carnosaurs, 1,000 Pterodons. You're not gonna give this guy a chance. So I liked it, and it did actually show how the units worked. It showed how the Pterodons worked. It showed how the Carnosaur works. It shows how the High Elves work, even with their magic. So it was like a fair and awesome gameplay footage to see. This, I'm not really seeing Chaos getting a fair shot here. I'm just seeing a lot of like demons getting absolutely massacred, which should not be a thing. Bloodletters should not be getting massacred. They should be the ones massacring.
The design teams to really experiment and innovate with new gameplay features.
Mechanics available for each of the races and the content.
Come on, man. Didn't you get the memo from the development team? You're supposed to wear your grandma sweater. What the fuck? Right now you look like you're that guy from Venom with the sweaty ass jacket.
And of each of those races, the rosters, the units, the heroes, the spells. Kislev have a quite conventional style with their army. They're built around rock-solid line infantry. And the good.
Oh, what did he just say? Oh, what did he just say? Oh, no. No.
And of each of those races, the rosters, the units, the heroes, the spells. Kislev have a quite conventional style with their army.
Oh,
They're built
no.
around rock-solid line infantry. And the good thing about their line infantry is a lot of it is hybrid infantry, so not only is it awesome in melee combat, but they have powerful missile weapons as well, which allow them to thin the enemy as they approach. They're bolstered by...
Yeah, no. I already am worried about Kislev, and now my suspicions are confirmed. They don't understand Kislev. They're instead going to make them a very infantry-focused faction, which is not accurate. They're supposed to be a cavalry-focused faction. They're supposed to be skirmishers. This is why I was happy when I saw all the archers, all the bears, all the winged hussar. I was like, yes, that's the Kislev that I know. Now he just confirmed my suspicions. Those Oathsworn-looking guys who were the front line, I don't remember the name on top of my head. But it seems like those guys aren't just elite units. That's going to be the main fucking army, which is not what we were expecting. That is not what you're supposed to be doing with Kislev.
The patriarch characters who will stand behind them and have a variety of support abilities, which will enhance the infantry's ability to hold the line. Alongside those, we have Ice Witches and Frost Maidens using the Law of Ice and the Law of Tempest, which are two very powerful spell laws with a wide variety of spells, both for killing the enemy, debuffing the enemy, buffing their own troops. And they're supported by artillery, a wide variety of cavalry as well, including Bear Cavalry. Khorne, a fairly simple faction to play in terms of the concept behind it. They don't have magic to use. They have very few missile units, but they do have...
That's actually wrong. There are very, very, very rare individuals who are actually able to use magic that do work for Khorne. But they're very rare because one, Khorne doesn't like them. He usually kills them. And two, it's not exactly rage-inducing to just fling a spell at somebody. So that's why Khorne prefers his followers to be melee-oriented people, but there are actual psychers in Warhammer 40k, and there are occasionally, like, extremely rare. I cannot emphasize how rare it is. But there is one or two, like, maybe magic casters you could probably find.
Have innate magic resistance. The idea behind them is to get on the front foot, to approach the enemy and to get stuck into hand-to-hand combat, and doing that will fuel their powerful army abilities, which will help them to achieve victory. It's blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne.
I'm glad you got that one thing right. That one thing, he got that right, great.
The thought behind survival battles is We really wanted to get the players immersed in the realm of chaos. So once you've invaded it, you're basically going up to one of the Chaos God's backyards and you're trying to kick the door in, essentially. We really wanted to show off the scale of that, be it with the map, the amount of units that you're fighting against, and the tools that you have in your army.
Oh, okay. They're kind of going down an Age of Sigmar route. That's interesting. So when you enter these chaos worlds, you're actually entering into their realm. So the campaign map might be totally different. That is unique and very interesting.
Defeat them. This also gave us the opportunity to add in new features, such as building defensive structures, allowing your units to be summoned within battle, and you can upgrade and replenish them. We're also hoping that when players go into these battles, use all these new features, they can overcome the horde of demons that attack them, and really come away with a great sense of accomplishment, knowing that you've bested one of the Chaos God's armies.
The artistic philosophy has kind of been bigger, better, badder in terms of the way we've kind of developed the art. Everything is kind of done at a grander scale. It's done to be much more gruesome. It's done to be much more interesting and exciting, especially with a lot of the new races coming in. We really want to make sure that we differentiate the game from the first two games, whilst also making sure that it fits within the same universe and feels part of the trilogy. The Elemental Bear was a really interesting character. We did originally look at how can we approach it. Should it be done in a more ethereal look? So should it be more ghostly, more spell-based? Or should it be much more of a physical entity? It's something unlike anything any players have seen before in game. In contrast to the Elemental Bear, for Khorne we've got the Bloodthirster, who is very much an equivalent in terms of the size. They're both quite ginormous, both quite massive, running around with an axe and a whip. And when you imagine these kind of units both attacking each other in battle, and you see these humanoid units running around, scurrying around their legs, you get this feeling from an old kaiju movie of these huge monstrous units taking each other on.
I guarantee you, the Bloodthirster and the Frostbear here are probably going to be getting their asses kicked by Carnosaurs and War Hydras and Dragons. I guarantee it. I guarantee it that those units are going to stand up toe-to-toe with these things. So I don't get it why they're building these up when they're just essentially just large units. They're just another large monster unit.
It really emphasises the scale difference between the races and the factions that we're going for this time around in this game. From an artistic point of view, we really want players to take away how big and bold we've really taken the franchise with this third game. We're really going to introduce quite a lot of new characters, quite a lot of interesting and diverse visual.
No shit. Of course you're going to introduce new characters. You're introducing factions, Kislev, demons. What the fuck is this guy saying? We're going to show you guys just how awesome we're taking the series as we introduce new characters. No shit. This is like going from Rome 2 to Attila. We're gonna amaze you guys by showing us new factions. Well, yeah, it's totally different time periods, jackass. I hope there's new factions, because, in Total War Attila, Rome was supposed to be dying, so I'm assuming there would be some new factions. Like, who says that? Who goes, for this sequel trilogy, we're gonna show you absolutely nothing new. It's gonna be the same content all over again. Oh yeah. I hope you're pumped to play the same thing over again. Well, I guess they did do that with Overwatch 2.
Actual identity, which will really separate this from the first two games. From the gameplay point of view, we really want to show that we've taken the experience that players are familiar with from Warhammer 1 and 2 and really polished it and refined it, whilst also introducing some nice little surprises in there that will really make it the best playing Total War Warhammer game we've ever made.
I wonder what Beastmen get if they're tied to this, or did CA forget about it? Okay, well that's
it from this Total War Warhammer 3 event. It seems that there's...
So I'm a little skeptical. I think it's going to be a lot like just a lot of rubbish crap that they decided to focus on. Which is great, because for a series to develop, you have to try something new, even if it fails. But the 9 minutes of gameplay footage really does bother me. I want to see more. And so far, they've only shown us Khorne. And they don't even show us everything about Khorne. All we've seen is blood letters and Chaos Warriors who have either double axes, halberds, and that's it. That is it. We haven't seen Blood Crushers. We haven't seen any other piece of Khorne's army. So, what exactly is there that I should be looking forward to? Like, the Warriors of Chaos, just the flat-out Warriors of Chaos, are devastating. Just one army of Warriors of Chaos, whether it's Chaos Knights, like Doomstack, or just Chosen with great weapons, they're able to destroy the entire world. That's how strong they are. Here it is. These guys are the exact same. The only difference is that they have buffs because they're aligned to Khorne. Yet they're getting massacred by a bunch of dudes who wear fur and ride bears. Are you shitting me? So far, they're trying their best to downplay Chaos, which actually worries me a bit, because then that means Chaos may actually be too powerful. It may actually be very, very, very good. So they're purposely breaking the coding of the game, making it where, you know, Kislev's army didn't take a single fucking casualty. Because in reality, when the game comes out, Kislev might get massacred, which I would expect from a skirmishing-focused faction where their whole lore is that a Chaos Warband is formed, Chaos is rampaging on this massive fucking unstoppable army through Kislev's territory, and all Kislev can do is assemble the polks, which is their armies, polks, and they would just engage, but constantly pull back, and they just keep engaging, and the reason why is that they're whittling them down. They're making them waste their time. It's going to the left, going to the right, and by dwindling them down and wasting their time, there is the chance that the winter season will be over, and for whatever reason that may be, whenever the winter season ends, the chaos just dissipates. The chaotic magic sucks back into the gates. Or they may actually whittle them down so much that they may become wounded enough for all the polks to assemble into one big polk and then just wipe them out. Or again, the Chaos host could actually attack Prague, Erengrad, Kislev. It could attack one of those major cities that forces Kislev to come in and break it or die. Because Kislev actually relies on their allies an extreme amount. There have been many Chaos invasions that was too much for Kislev to bear. So the Empire, the Dwarves, the High Elves even come in to aid Kislev. So, am I excited for Kislev? I think that they should be a minor power like they've always been. And I do think that their army does seem good. Their army roster seems great. The only issue is, though, is that it's a lot like the Beastmen, where people are raging about how shit the Beastmen army roster is. It's like, dude, the Beastmen are a minor faction. These guys, Kislev, I don't expect them to be this amazing god-tier faction that wipes out demons with the flick of a sword. That's not what they're meant to be. They're supposed to be a minor faction. A minor empire, well, pseudo-empire faction. So, am I too excited for Kislev? Not really. Am I more excited for the demons? Oh, yeah. I'm very excited to see what kind of mechanics they may have. Like, they may have it where your army suffers attrition wherever there's low winds of magic. That would be interesting. That would be so interesting if you can play as the demons and you're invading other demon realms because you're dedicated to your one god, but it's an endless battle. Like, it's not actually going to do anything. It just veterans up your troops. It gives you more money so you can buy more troops. That would be interesting. And then whenever you can invade the world, you're kind of on a timer where when you invade the world, wherever the world may be, like the High Elves could have taken over the world by now because it's turn 500 or some bullshit like that. You're living on a timer where every day that your army's around, the winds of magic bar starts ticking away because your army's sucking up that magic. So you have to kind of rush province to province to province to province. You have to keep the ball rolling, or else your army's going to suffer too much attrition and you have to click that little return back to hell button where you just go click, and then your army just recalls back into hell and you have to wait for the winds of magic to rebuild up again. That would be interesting. That would be a very interesting gameplay mechanic. Where, you know, it's kind of like a horde where you could build certain buildings in your horde that lowers how much the winds of magic go down. Or it could be like if you're Tzeentch demon, you could do it where when your demons use magic, it doesn't take that much winds of magic to cast the spells, because the more they do, the more likely, once you win the battle, you'll have no winds of magic and you'll have to go back to hell. So that would be very interesting. I would love to see that in the Warhammer 3. Am I stoked? Of course. I love Warhammer. I love it in its entirety. My very first videos were Warhammer related. So, of course, I'm excited. I played Warhammer 1 when it came out. I played Warhammer 2 when it came out. I have all the DLCs. I love the shit out of the game. Does this video do its service, though? Absolutely not. I hope the development team sees this reaction and goes, wow, you know. Maybe we need to stop worrying about all of us wearing grandma sweatshirts and talking about the game and worry more about showing the merit behind it. It's a lot like someone who's advertising medication to people. Oh, I give you the best pain meds in the world. You see, when the pharmaceutical company was developing this pain medicine, the goal was to put as much passion into it as possible, blah, blah. Just give me the fucking pain medicine and let me see for myself. Is this good? Wow. I just got ran over by a truck and I didn't feel a fucking thing. What do you know? It works. This is just not... This is not the way you go about it. I like the passion. I like how excited they are to show it and all that. But when you do this, it makes me worry. And it also makes me annoyed. Like, how much of this video, this 30-minute video, how much of it was actually what the title was? Gameplay reveal. Full showcase. Really? Full showcase? 9 minutes out of 30? That's, what? Slightly less than 30% of your video is just you talking. Slightly less than. So, I don't know. It's just... Maybe I'm going too hard on it. Maybe I truly am just a jackass. Who knows? This was just annoying to me at times. With that being said, it's been for your 700. I'm out. See you guys next time. As always, comment down below what you guys think. I'm not going to respond to it, probably. But hey, if it makes you feel better, tell me what you feel.